Welcome to the Cruise Report, brought to you by Norwegian Cruise Line, with your hosts, National Director of Sales for Canada, Dana Gain, and Business Development Manager, Ian Smythe. Now your host, Dana Gain.
Welcome, and thank you for watching. Welcome, Ian. Wow, can it be 2018 already?
2018, here we are. Happy New Year, Dana. I know it's a little bit late, but I suppose we could say that, right? Happy New Year?
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
It's
Happy New
still
Year to our viewers.
early enough in the year to be able to say Happy New Year,
so.
I think.
Yeah, I agree.
We are so excited to be here with our travel partner friends again. And of course, as we do in every episode, Ian, we bring the cruise conversation to you.
Yes.
So talk to us about what we're going to do today.
Yeah, people have become very familiar with our regular segments. I hear it all the time, Dana. People love the fact that we do them. So we're going to have our hot topic of the day, as we always do, and we're going to get into that a little bit more. Of course, we have viewer mail.
Yes.
We love that. Our cruise report prize giveaway.
Yes.
We're going to have Ian and Dana's thought of the day.
Is it Ian and Dana's
well,
or Dana and
Ian's?
Ian's?
I switched it. It
Okay.
is Dana and Ian's thought of the day.
Okay.
And we're also going to have the 3 things you need to know.
And of course, we do have a little surprise for our viewers later on, but we need to not jump ahead, I think.
Right.
But because so much of what drives this show is the feedback from you, our viewers, the travel trade community.
Yes. Yep.
We would like to draw 3 names the next show. So what we want to do is encourage you to send in your comments and questions, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about the show. It could just be, what are you hearing about Norwegian or cruising in the marketplace? So we are going to draw 3 winners for 3 gift cards of $250 each.
Right.
Canadian.
Yep. That's how much we value the feedback. Not only that, but if I can just add, Dana, also what you're hearing about the market. What are your guests saying about cruising? What kind of feedback? We value that. I know you said that, and it's so important to the show and to us to make sure that we're here talking about the sort of things that we think are relevant and you want us to talk about.
Absolutely. So moving right along to our hot topic of the day, I think we're going to talk a little bit about deployment today.
Yeah,
Some
deployment.
big announcements.
It's a big deal when you're a cruise line and you've got 15 or 16 ships soon to be. And we've got to figure out where to put them. And we're listening to the guests. We're listening to the industry as to what and where we should be putting these ships. So, very timely, in the last little while, we made that announcement, Dana, about our deployment for 2019 and 2020. And today, we wanted to bring you some of the highlights.
Now, we can't, of course, talk about all of the things that all of the ships would be doing because we try to keep the show short enough for you to watch. But some of the ones I think that they will be more interested in than others.
Yep.
Norwegian Bliss, for example. So if we back up just a little bit,
Yep.
of course, Bliss is going to be doing Alaska.
Yep.
Then she's going to move to Miami in
That's
the
right.
winter of 2018, early 2019. Then after that, she is going to, drum roll please, go to New York. She's going to be doing some wonderful Southern Caribbean cruises out of New York, and that's exciting. And that takes us right up to 2020.
Yep.
So that's very exciting.
Yeah, that's the 12-day, some of those 12-day journeys that you were mentioning on Bliss. And that is big news. As you know, that's going to be one of the newest ships sailing out of the Northeast.
Newest and biggest out of New York.
Yep.
So we're really excited about that.
So that's interesting and good news for New York.
Yes, absolutely. Then the next one we have is Norwegian Gem, staying in the New York market for a moment. Tell us about Gem.
Yeah, Norwegian Gem. Some of you probably are familiar with Norwegian Gem. Recently went through a very extensive retrofit.
Yes.
What we call a dry dock, 30-day dry dock, and it's where we really take the ship, Dana, down to its steel frame.
Right.
I mean, I say this all the time. We're not just shampooing carpets and
changing the drapes
or the bedspreads. We're actually putting the ship into a 30-day dry dock, down to her steel frame. And when she comes out, we want her to look better than new.
Amazing.
So that just happened with Norwegian Gem. And she's going to be doing some really great itineraries for Bahamas, Florida cruise market out of New York beginning in December of 2019. And I can tell you that is a great itinerary. And it's a very friendly, family-friendly ship with her kids' programs. And, of course, out of Eastern Canada, not to mention the fact that New York is, for some folks, a drive market. I'm always reminded when I'm in New York and I'm standing, the ship is here, parking lot is here, and I'm looking at Quebec plates, I'm looking at Ontario plates, Nova
Right.
Scotia.
Yep.
So it's something to consider. So New York for GEM.
And also, the GEM is going to be doing 2 Panama Canal cruises. So for
Correct.
those of you that have, we know that there are clients that you have out there that are interested in doing something a little longer, something a little bit more exotic. A Panama Canal cruise, of course, is on most people's bucket list. So again, we have GEM and Bliss in New York through 2020. I can't believe we're talking about
I know, it's
2020
crazy.
already. So what that means then, Ian, does that mean Norwegian Dawn, which is currently in New York,
Correct.
is moving?
Correct. So Norwegian Dawn, Dana, and very similar to Norwegian GEM, I should say,
Right.
also did an extensive retrofit or dry dock, and very similar in terms of layout and size.
Yep.
She will be going from New York to Tampa. Some interesting itineraries, including Panama Canal, which
Yes.
I always get asked for that. I was at a trade show just this past weekend. People were asking me about that. Not only that, we're going to be including Great Stirrup Cay out of Tampa.
Right.
We've got some fabulous itineraries for the Caribbean, and that all begins in November
Right.
of 2019, all the way through until the early part of 2020.
Right.
Again, as you mentioned, it's hard to believe.
So if we work our way down the East Coast,
Yes.
we've talked about New York, we've talked about Tampa.
Yep.
So now let's talk about what's happening with Getaway. So Getaway
Yes.
is actually going to be moving to New Orleans, which is pretty exciting. We know our guests love to spend time in the French Quarter. If you haven't done that, you absolutely need to. So she's going to be doing 7, 9, and 12-day sailings to the Western Caribbean beginning in November of 2019. Again, that's Norwegian Getaway
Yep.
out of New Orleans, hitting, of course, all the hot places in the Western Caribbean.
Yes.
That's exciting. So
That-
that was Getaway.
Getaway, which brings us very nicely to her sister ship,
Yes,
Breakaway.
exactly.
And Breakaway, exciting news, will be sailing out of Port Canaveral, Orlando, which is a great easy peasy port to sail out of into, obviously. And so Breakaway is moving to Port Canaveral. So again,
Right.
a fairly new ship for that port. The newest ship actually going to be sailing out of that port will be Breakaway.
Right.
And one of the biggest, which is important to mention.
Very new.
And that begins November 2019 all the way through into 2020. And she's going to be doing a 7-day Western Caribbean sailing out of Port Canaveral on Norwegian Breakaway.
Western and Eastern.
And Western and Eastern, pardon me, yes.
We're still learning the new itineraries, but I think we've got Getaway and Breakaway.
Yeah, Western,
We're hovering
Eastern,
around
yep.
the Port Canaveral area, so we move right over. We haven't quite finished yet, but again, this is just the highlights.
Yes.
For more information, Ian, where do they go?
Always go to NorwegianCentral.com. It is the place to go, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, as we always do, because I think
Yes.
it really is a tremendous resource.
It's got to be the go-to place
Yep.
for all of you to find any information
Yes.
Norwegian related. NorwegianCentral.com. Please go and visit that website. Now, we haven't covered all the ships yet. We still need to find out what's happening with Norwegian Epic. Now, this is exciting because Epic,
Yes.
which I believe came out around 2010,
Yep, I would say 2010,
she
2011.
is actually going to home port out of San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Thank you.
Very exciting. Did
That's
I say
good
that
news.
well?
That's
Did
good
I
news.
did that Spanish accent?
Spanglish.
Spanglish. So she's going to be doing 7-day Southern Caribbean cruises. She's going to be the largest ship in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and that's actually pretty cool. So as you can see, we're just giving you a flavor of where the ships are going to be, and we're making some pretty big changes.
Yeah, and another one of those big changes is going to be on Norwegian Escape. Dana, as everybody knows, Norwegian Escape, Pitbull is the godfather for Norwegian Escape.
Yes, he is.
One of my favorite ships. A lot of great memories on Norwegian Escape.
Right.
So Norwegian Escape will be returning to her city of christening, which is Miami,
Yes.
in November of 2019.
That's right.
She's going to be doing a 7-day Western Caribbean all the way through till about the middle of 2020.
Of 2020. And of course, last but not least, I know we're jumping around a lot, but stay with us just one more
Yes,
minute.
one more.
Last but not least, Norwegian Star. And she's going to be doing South America. Now, this is really cool because she's going to be doing 14-day sailings both from Santiago, Chile, and Buenos Aires in Argentina. And it goes, of course, around Cape Horn, which is extremely exciting. So 14-day sailings, leaving from both ports, and that, again, is Norwegian Star.
And that's the Star, which replaces Sun doing
Sun.
that.
That
very,
is correct.
Very
And what is
popular.
the Sun doing? The Sun is Cuba.
Cuba, of course.
two ships
yes,
in Cuba.
A very popular Cuba.
That is a pile of information. We will not torture you with more information about itineraries.
We do have to get through this. As a cruise line, it's important to know where our ships are going.
We absolutely do, exactly.
And we think it's so timely that it was only just announced recently.
Yes, exactly, just recently. So that's very exciting. So what's next, Ian?
So we've talked all about the deployment and what we're doing there.
Great news.
Yep, and I think what we need to do now is
Get those.
we want to draw some names.
Draw some names?
Yep.
Now,
So-
I do just want to point out quickly that Ian has brought his glasses today.
Yes,
This
I
is
do.
very
I
exciting.
have my glasses, so
So
I'll
we
be
are
able
going to, would you like
actually
to
see.
do the honors?
I will, now that I can
Now that you can read the name.
So we're giving away a $250 gift card,
Exactly. Canadian
And-
dollars, one more time.
Canadian dollars.
And who do we have?
Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn from Cruise Experts Travel out of Vancouver, beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. You will be the recipient of one of those.
And you know what? I'm just going to make a decision right
Yep.
now. Let's do a second gift card.
Good.
Should we do a
Love
second
it.
gift
Love
card?
it.
Here we go.
Yep.
Let's just pick
Okay,
another name.
Since I've got
one more.
make use of my glasses.
The
since they're-
second winner of the
they're still on.
$250 gift card goes to,
Teresa Gauguin from the Travel Store in Amherst.
and that I believe is in Nova Scotia.
Yes, Amherst, Nova Scotia. So
Very good.
congratulations to you. So
Wonderful. Matthew and
Matthew and Teresa.
Teresa.
Teresa
Excellent.
Gauguin.
now we're running out of time. We will quickly get to, we can answer I think one question from, thank you again for submitting your questions. One question which we seem to get a lot, Ian,
Yep.
where do we find information
Yep.
about various questions?
Right, and the reason why we decided to, I was reviewing the questions,
Yeah.
and a lot of questions. How many pools will Norwegian Bliss have? How many restaurants?
Right.
When was Norwegian Jade recently renovated? How many tons is Norwegian Epic? All of these sorts of questions. How many complimentary restaurants?
Yeah.
All of this stuff, I cannot stress it enough. www.norwegiancentral.com. It is
Please
the
remember.
place to go. I will tell you, and we're going to get to it in the 3 things you need to know. I'm almost preempting myself, but we're going to come back to NorwegianCentral.com because it's important about one of the 3 things that we need to know. So why don't we do that,
Why don't you
actually?
start with that one?
The 3 things that we need to know today.
Yes.
I think the most important thing is NCLU. NCLU is our Norwegian specialist training course that we've put together. Some of you may know we have
Right.
recently relaunched that back in October, Dana.
October of 2017. That's
So
right.
not that long ago, really, 3-4 months ago. We have spent a lot of time talking to the agents. What do you want to see in our program? What do you like about other people's programs? What don't you like about what we had?
Right.
And we put all that together. We've relaunched it into NCLU. The feedback I'm getting is it's easier. It's mobile friendly now.
Right.
It's less time. It's easier to redeem in terms of getting your free cruise.
Right.
All of that is designed to help you better understand Norwegian and better close sales.
I agree.
And what type of guests should you be putting on Norwegian?
Right.
So NCLU, I cannot encourage you to do the course enough. I think there's a great benefit to it, obviously, the free cruise.
That's right.
How do we find it? NorwegianCentral.com.
And there's
Again,
a-
everything comes back to NorwegianCentral.com.
Exactly. You just click on the box that says NCLU.
Yep.
It takes you right over to the site. Very straightforward. And only one login, by the way. The other 2 things that we think you need to know. The
Yep.
first one, of course, which we talk about all the
All
time.
the time.
Canada at Par.
Yes.
This continues to be extended, and I think that we are in the market for 2 years now, so that's exciting. So Canada at Par is not
Yep.
going anywhere as long as there's a delta between the 2 currencies. That's exciting. Of course, the other is Free at Sea, which is where, of course,
Love.
you would get your beverage package.
Beverage
and-
package, specialty dining.
Exactly.
Kids sail free, Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Can I just mention one other thing? I brought my props with me.
Oh, good.
People ask me, what can we find, materials? How do we order brochures? I'm going to sound like a broken record here, Dana. Please excuse me. NorwegianCentral.com. I
Yep.
just went on there the other day. Deck plans.
Yes.
You can get that off NorwegianCentral.com. Our travel partner reference manual.
That's 100 pages
Yep.
of information.
Everything
Wonderful.
you ever wanted to know.
Yep.
I print these off. I hand them out in agencies. They go crazy for them because they're like a Bible.
And I think a lot of these are things that, it's very hard to talk about all the things we need to talk about.
Right.
And it just, the agents are not aware, so we want to make sure you are aware and you know where to find this information.
Yes.
So we have our next filming in just about 2 months.
Yep.
So you can watch for that next.
Yep.
The next. So this is season 3, episode 1. We have episode 2 coming up in March, and
our next show, we're going to give away at least 3.
Yes, thank you for reminding me.
At least 3. So please, please, please send your questions and comments, as Dana said at the
3
beginning of the
gift
show.
cards.
Yeah. At
So-
least 3. Now today we said 1 and you went to 2, so hey, maybe it'll
So
increase.
maybe it'll go to 4 or 5.
That's
but
right.
the bottom line is, please keep sending
Yep.
us your information and keep it coming.
Yep.
So thank you for watching. And if you hear the horn, remember, it must be the Cruise Report. I'm your host, Dana Gain.
And I'm Ian Smythe. I almost forgot who I was. I'm Ian Smythe. It's been a while since we've done this.
Right.
And I'm Ian Smythe saying bon voyage and happy selling.